Hi. I apologize ahead of time. I'm squeaky because I'm sick. I'm not sure with what. I'm going to assume a flu or some kind of allergy reaction. Um, but I don't know how much longer I have to to explain this. So I just wanted it out there. Um, my stepson, who I've talked about a few times here, the youngest one, who has felony charges right now pending in Beaver County Court for aggravated assault on a police officer and a pregnant girl. Um, he faces court this Thursday. They're gonna give him like a kind of like a middle ground probation is what they called it, where basically he has to have no charges within the next 6 months to a year, and then they'll wipe his slate clean. I am literally scared for that. And here's why. And why I wanted to get this out. The place that he's at right now, he's been there about a little over a year. It's a residential treatment facility up in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's meant for kids who have dealt with trauma. And he is one of those kind of kids. He's dealt with a lot of trauma in his life with his biological mother. She was highly abusive, neglectful. He has reactive attachment disorder. He just turned 18. And I almost guarantee if they did an evaluation past his 18th birthday, they'd probably come back either with sociopath, psychopath, or borderline personality disorder. His sister was just diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. My eldest stepdaughter, and I mean, she's just turned 20. And the eldest boy, I mean, he knows he's a sociopath. He's said it. He has no empathy and he doesn't understand it. It's sad. But that's what happens when you grow up with a mother who didn't care. I mean, she cared, but in a very twisted way. She was very abusive because she thought the abuse would make them better. She couldn't resolve her own trauma, so she took it out on them. Every problem she had was their fault. Even before she died of breast cancer, she told the youngest one that her death was ultimately his fault. She told him that because he acted out so much, she couldn't go to her chemo, and therefore the cancer had spread, and she was going to die because of him. And he was 13 years old when she told him that. So yeah, you can imagine what that does to a kid. And then she told the older two they weren't welcomed in her life. They weren't welcomed at her funeral. She wanted nothing to do with them. Because as far as she was concerned, they weren't groveling to her. And if they weren't groveling to her needs, then they weren't worth her time. In fact, actually, those were the last couple weeks, was she wanted them to apologize to her for the problems they caused her, being children, you know. So, and they were, at the time, it was 2021, so this was 4 years ago, as of this past May. So 16, 17, just turning, actually, the oldest one just turned 21 this year, and she died 3 days after his 16th birthday. So, you know, that. Anyway, I am here because they're about to release my youngest stepson, and not because he's gotten better. Although they've slapped a nice little successful sticker on his folder, he's not successful, and that's what scares me. He went in after attacking that police officer who got between him and a girl who was pregnant, and he took swings at the cop. Although if you ask him, he'll tell you that he flexed at the cop and that he was just trying to intimidate him, as if that's some kind of excuse for the way he acted. And his excuse for attacking the girl was, I wasn't trying to attack her, I was just trying to stop her from leaving because she called me names. which the school, and I believe the school, says the girl never said a word. In fact, the only thing she asked was if she could have a jelly bean that he had been conveniently carrying around that day, which honestly, I don't even know where he got them from, because he didn't get them from my house. I believe that he had bought them when he was with his grandmother, his biological grandmother, and then he had taken them to school. So he's been there a year, and within that year, he has attacked other kids in the facility. There's nothing worse on this planet than being blamed for your own injuries from somebody else. He constantly does that. He won't take responsibility. The only time he takes responsibility is when he knows he's about to get in trouble. He's very good at that. I fear for that, because it's gotten him out of troubles thus far. He probably should be in prison 20 times over, but he loves to throw the whole "I had a bad childhood," and, you know, he'll say that he wants to unalive himself. He's never meant it, ever, and I want that to be clear. Although you should take all threats like that seriously. He has never once attempted, ever, never planned, nothing. He has done this for over a decade. It was his way of getting away from his mother. He knew that if he cried that he wanted to hurt himself, he was in the hospital to get away from her. Now he knows that if he says it when he's in trouble, that he'll go to the psych ward instead of in cuffs. In fact, actually, like 2 months ago in June, that's exactly what happened again. He didn't want to wash 2 dishes, and there was a girl as small as I am. I am 5'1", so is she, and she had a broken arm already, so she's completely harmless, tiny little thing. She had 2 dishes in the sink, told him he needed to wash 2 dishes because it was chore time, and he threw a royal massive tantrum. There's 10 other boys in that facility, all around the same size, age, and with the same delinquent status. He scared all of them. They had to call the Erie police. And at that point, he said he wanted to hurt himself. So, of course, he went to the psych ward instead of into jail. After he threw things at everybody, after he punched holes in the wall and made threats. In January, just like the cop incident, he redid the same incident with another little boy in school. They said that there was one kid that was making him mad, almost triggering him on purpose. And when that kid got up to leave the room, issue avoided, it's all done. He wasn't satisfied with that, so he got up and he chased the kid out of the classroom. Now, granted, my stepson is 6 foot and over 200 pounds, almost 220 pounds actually, all muscle. A lot more. He's gained some weight on top of that because he overeats, he's still tall and he looks thin and he's muscular. So when I say 200 pounds, I don't mean fat. I mean, he's big. He's just really big. And he chased down this boy. He tried to get into the bathroom to get to this boy. And another boy stepped in between them and he beat the living hell out of that boy. It wasn't even the one that made him mad, just like the cop. He attacked the cop because he couldn't get to the girl. He attacked the second boy because he couldn't get to the first one. He's attacked me and broken my nose to get to his sister. And it killed me 2 weeks ago to hear a doctor literally tell me that it was like my own fault that he hurt me. I was shocked. I couldn't even believe he said that. We were at a meeting. They're trying to discharge him because he won't get any better. They're calling it success, but honestly, he hasn't changed. He's exactly the same as when he went in. I'm scared he's going to kill somebody. He will kill somebody. It's inevitable. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know what else to do. He's dangerous because he doesn't care. It's all about him. He acts nice most of the time. He's very polite. He's kind. Except when he doesn't get his way. And then it's all bets are off. He doesn't even care. You could be a child, but you're in his way. You're the reason why he can't have something. He will go through you to get whatever he wants. And he might say he's sorry, but he's always sorry. He still does it. They're about to approve him moving into a group because he can't come home. And actually the doctor was angry at me for not taking him back in. He told this place with me on the phone that I wanted nothing to do with him. This is the most horrible thing ever. Like, if I didn't want anything to do with him, why would I even be there? I want to see him succeed. I want to see him get better. I don't want to see him hurt somebody. I don't want to see him go to jail. And that's where he's headed. And there's no stopping it. It's like watching a runaway train. I don't know what else to do. So I want to put it out there. Because there's going to be a day. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be one of these facility people he goes to be with. One of the girls that live there. Because there's 14 of those girls. And he's so aggressive towards women. Because of his mother. He stabbed his sister with a fork. And he told her it was her fault that he did it. He said if she didn't make him angry, he wouldn't have to hurt her. And that was my stepdaughter. That he did that too. And she wasn't even bothering him. She just wouldn't acknowledge him at the dinner table. She was upset about her boyfriend. She just didn't want to talk, so he stabbed her with a fork. And then he said she made me do that. It was the scariest comment I've ever heard him say. He always says to me, I didn't mean to break your nose. You just got in the way. And this doctor said the same thing to this place. Yes, he broke his stepmother's nose, but it's because he was going after his sister and she got in the way. I can't believe he said that. As if that's somehow better. I can't. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm sick as a dog. He's turned 18. I don't have any say anymore. I have to go to the courts on Thursday and sign these papers with him. And this is gonna sound horrible, but I just keep hoping, like, somebody's gonna get wise to it, put him in jail, so he can't hurt anybody else. He's put 4 kids in the hospital, and me. And that's not even including his sister. It's 3 kids at his last school, and then 1 at this facility. I remember them calling me in January and saying, we are having to take your stepson to the hospital to get treatment on his knuckles. Because he said when he punched the kid in the face, he scratched his knuckles on the kid's teeth. I couldn't have cared less. I did not care if he got hurt because he hurt somebody else. That's just consequences in my book. And I know that's going to sound cold. I can't fix what his mother did to him. I can't stop it, and he won't stop it. He blames everybody else for his actions. And when this doctor literally sat there and said that it was my fault that I got hurt, and then he said that he didn't believe his actions were his fault. It's like, God, you're just giving him what he wants. He's so good at manipulation. He's so good at it. But his mother was too. And it's unfortunate that he learned that. But he won't get better. He keeps telling everybody he wants to get better, but he won't change. Even our last session, he just screamed at his therapist for even bringing up the fact that he gets nasty about even picking up some clothes, or washing a dish, or mopping the floor, because he always lies and he says he's sick or he's hurt or something. And he yelled at me and the therapist, mainly the therapist, because the therapist is the one that brought it up, saying that we were ruining his day by bringing up the past that had happened not even 24 hours before that conversation took place. Like, dude, you just did it. How is that the past? How is this us ruining your day when you're the one that did it? And he says, you're just ruining it. You're bringing up my anxiety. You're making me want to hurt myself. Excuse me. You're not allowed to hurt people and then play the victim. You can't do that. I don't care. I can't. And then his case manager said, well, let's put him in this place and call him a success. It's like, I am scarcely disagree. The only reason you're discharging him is because the insurance doesn't want to pay for him anymore. Because nothing's changing and the insurance doesn't want to pay for something that's not working. That's the bottom line. They're the ones that have been pushing this because there's no change. He's been there over a year. Insurance doesn't want to pay for something that doesn't work. And he wants to leave. He's happy to go to this place where there are going to be 14 other girls. One of them's going to end up in the hospital. Or one of the staff. I hope... This sounds so terrible, but I hope he ends up in prison before that happens. Because I don't know what else to do. I've lost all hope. And whenever I try to talk to him, he just sits there and goes, oh, okay. I try to tell him, honey, I'm worried about you. I'm worried you're going to react. And his only response is, well, I guess I'll have to try better. I'll have to try harder not to hurt people. What kind of response is that? He doesn't even know. He thinks we should all change for him. That if we didn't act a certain way, he wouldn't have to hurt people. That we somehow deserved everything we got or we asked for it. Or it was somehow our fault. He broke a girl's skull with his phone. He threw a chair across the room at another kid. The first one with the phone was because the girl was arguing with somebody else and it was inconveniencing him because they weren't going to go home until those two girls settled down. And he wanted to go home. So his exact words were, I told her she didn't stop talking, I was going to hurt her. And she didn't stop. So I did, because I said I would. As if that's just some kind of reasonable response. The second kid, he threw the chair at them because he was going to have to get up to leave the classroom so they could manage that child. The child had his own issues. He was having a disagreement with the teacher. The kid was actually walking out of the room so he could go calm himself down, and he winged a chair at him. The first one landed him with disorderly conduct. The second one landed him with charges of simple assault. The first one landed with community service, and he had to write a letter to the judge, which I helped him do. And he did his community service of 10 hours, which I thought was a slap on the wrist considering he cracked a girl's skull open with his phone for nothing. Oh yeah, and by the way, when he swung the first time, he said he missed. So he's like, so I did it again. Like he had time to even rethink what he was doing, and he did it anyway. 6 months later, he throws the chair at the other kid. Oh my goodness, I'm so sick. I hate this. And that kid, the chair bounced off the table, and the leg cracked across his face. He had a laceration whole way up. He had simple assault with that, and the kid actually felt so bad because he felt like he caused it. He blamed himself. That he forgave him because he kept pestering him. And so the kid actually asked the DA to drop it. My stepson was angry with the school. He felt the school was responsible for the reason why he still had the charges, because he said he got the kid to forgive him. So he thought he shouldn't have the charges. But the DA dropped them. 3 months later, he attacked the pregnant girl in the car. And then 6 months later after that, he attacks the kid at the new facility. And then 6 months later, he put the holes in the wall and threw crap at all the boys. And Erie police were called. And, I mean, it's August, and they're like, let's get rid of him. Yeah, he's good. Let's just send him on his way. I've been in a full-blown panic ever since. I keep waiting for this to just, wake up. Like, I know he can't stay there forever. It is what it is, but... Oh my god. I can't. I just can't. Oh my god, I'm so sick. I hate this so much. And I'm sick. And all I can think about is who's gonna get hurt next. So I'm sorry I'm blubbering. But when the time comes, when there's another incident, which there will be, if he's not willing to change, it's inevitable. How can you stop that? He won't even acknowledge that it's his fault. He'll only say it if he feels like he's not going to get consequences for it. He doesn't believe he deserves any consequences. He's even angry about this probation thing that's about to happen. I actually called Beaver County and I begged them to do this. I said he's going to kill somebody. I need help. So this is their solution. I don't know what else to do. So I need this out there for when it happens, whether it be me, whether it be his sisters, whether it be one of those people in the facility, whether it be his wife one day. He has no ambition to change. So I have to put it out there somewhere. Because I've done everything I can. There's nothing else I can do but this. I've shouted, I've emailed, I've called, I've done everything I can. Now I can just pray. And hope that, even though I'm saying this, that it won't happen, but you just know, You just know. It's happened every 6 months. For 4 years. Where's the pattern gonna break? Alright. Thanks for listening. Sorry.